Puck's Confessional, My Issue with Control. Part 1, Why I Want to Control. I have a bit of a reputation. My name is Robin Goodfellow, but people call me Puck. I am a spirit. Some think I'm an evil goblin, but really, I'm just misunderstood. I simply like to have fun. Okay, sometimes it is at another's expense, but most of the time I just wanted to have a good laugh. Taking the cream from the milk? Getting people lost? Hilarious if you ask me. Some say I work for Oberon, and yes, I am his jester. But really, a spirit as mischievous as I can work for no man or fairy. I am that merry wanderer of the night. When Oberon suggests I do something, if I think it is amusing, then I generally do it. To be fair, I'm not his fairy. I do not abide only by his rules. When people say I'm just his servant, it makes me angry. That is when I tend to take things into my own hands. Sometimes I accidentally gain control over everyone, but other times it is my mistakes that make for the most amusing moments. For example, that time when Oberon was mad at Titania. Oberon was mad at Titania over a changeling, so when he told me to find the juice of a flower that would force his queen to fall in love with the first creature she saw, I thought it was a fabulous idea. Potions and tricks give me control. I can manipulate others to do things they normally would never do on their own. I have the power, and boy, is it entertaining. Part 2, what I did to take control. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I got the flower with the magical love juice for Oberon and brought it to him to trick Titania. He told me to use some of it on the Athenian guy he had come across in the woods, who was treating a young woman poorly. With this assignment, things got really interesting. At first, I couldn't find anyone to anoint. Through the forest have I gone, but Athenian found I none. Night and silence. Who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. When I finally saw the Athenian man, I couldn't believe it. Sleeping just a few feet away was a beautiful soul. This girl made me sad. How dare the man not love her? I anointed his eyes so that when he awoke, he would be so tortured by love he would never sleep again. On my way back to Oberon, I happened on a group of men rehearsing a play for Theseus's wedding day. With a little bit of magic, one just so happened to end up wearing the head of an ass. Hilarious! They were right near where Titania slept, and when she awoke, she was completely in love with an ass. I couldn't have planned this event any better. Oberon could not have been more pleased, and once again, I was in control. Part 3, the results. Yet my attempts at controlling others were not turning out quite as I had planned. It turns out that I anointed the wrong man's eyes, an honest mistake or just a better twist to our little tale? I'll never tell. But Oberon is all about true love and all that nonsense. So he asked me to fix it. We saw the man Demetrius, whom I was supposed to anoint, begging to marry Hermia. Then we saw the man Lysander, whom I did anoint, awake and fall instantly in love with Helena. Now this was entertainment. This is why I play with humans. Lord, what fools these mortals be. After a while, Oberon was over my little game, and he asked me to restore order to the young lovers' lives. At this point, I was tired of watching the boys fight over Helena, who really was no prize. I have never heard someone complain so much. So I made sure that they were all separated and fell into a deep sleep. I changed my voice to lead Lysander away, and then led Demetrius away as well. Eventually, I had all 4 humans asleep. I took pity on them all and decided to right the wrongs. Lysander and Hermia had their happily ever after. Demetrius was fooled into loving that silly Helena, and all of the humans had their mates. Finally, Oberon and I were amused, and Titania and Oberon were happy again. At the end of this midsummer's night, I must say that I had a grand adventure in attempting to control the others. But it has certainly given me some food for thought about all the twists and turns that can happen in the process. You really just can't ever predict how people are going to handle being in a weird situation.